Hey YouTube, this is Zach with Achilles Financial, and we are back taking a look at SeaWorld stock with the ticker symbol SEAS. They announce earnings tomorrow, Friday, May 8th at 6:30 in the morning, and they are currently humming along just over the course of the past month. Again, April was not their lowest points, but it looks like they did get pretty low during the month of April. They did not get down to that $7. However, there is a lot of movement anticipated for SeaWorld stock. You can look at that when we check out the options. I want to highlight that these options expire tomorrow. If you're trading on Robinhood, you cannot buy or sell an option on the day that it is due. So do not expect to be able to get this May 8th unless you're looking for a quick day trade. So the ones that I would be looking at the earliest, if you are expecting a move but still want to gauge it a little bit, would be the May 15th ones. As you can see, there's a high premium priced on this, so they're looking for a pretty big move. If you expect the stock to be over $14 a share, there are very expensive premiums associated with it. However, I want to highlight, if you look, there is not a lot of people who have placed those bids yet, not a lot of people trading this. So there's two issues I want to highlight with that. One is if the stock is going to go up, you're going to have to pay a lot to get it unless you see some additional volume. And two, when you're looking to sell it, if you think that you're going to be able to get out of it at an easy price, you're probably going to have to take a hit. So just want you to be aware of that. I'm bearish against SeaWorld stock right now because there's a lot of information that's going to happen. Earlier this week, we saw that Disney announced earnings. Before I dive into the puts, let's look at Disney real quick. When Disney announced earnings earlier this week, we saw a big drop right here. So when they announced earnings, they saw that big drop. A lot of that is going to be indicative of the fact they said they are not paying their dividend this summer, as well as they saw a 90% decrease in the revenue that they associate with their park income over Q1. So if we go back to SeaWorld, what you're going to see is over the course of the past week, yes, they've dropped close to 10%. However, over the past month, they're still doing pretty well, and even as soon as last week, they were still higher than $12 a share, but not at $14 a share. So they've done really well over the past month. What I anticipate seeing is a drop under that $13 price tag. The reason for that is because they were getting close on May 1st, but we've got a slew of economic data coming out today and tomorrow in terms of jobless claims as well as the unemployment rate. They have not made any money over the course of the past quarter because their park has not been open, and I do not anticipate an instant return to profitability. So when people are looking at the stock, they're thinking, hey, what's the long-term growth? Hey, we can get back to $36 a share. I think if you're saying, hey, I want to hold on to SeaWorld stock for 2 years, then yes, you have the capability to do so. But I don't think that this is going to be an instant return to greatness. A lot of the optimism that'll come out of this meeting is going to be dependent on, are we expecting that they have plenty of cash on hand? I believe that they do. However, what is the current quarter outlook? And I don't think that this upcoming quarter is going to be good for them either. So there's going to be a lot of cash burn. They still have a lot of expenses, but now we're looking at what is the future prospect. So the guidance is going to be important there. All of this to say, I am looking at the put options. So if we go back into the puts for next week, I may be putting in a bid for that $13.50 or the $13. The thing that I'm hesitant about is you can see that there's a pretty wide disparity between the bid and the ask price for these. And that means that I am not excited about paying 75 cents for this info. I'd like to be closer to that 40. A lot of that information is because these are showing this is a high volatility stock. These are high volatility options. And what we need to do is see, well, what is going to happen here? Because do I think the stock is going to drop to $12.25? Not necessarily by next Friday. I do think it may be under $13 a share. So I'm going to be watching this. I'm only going to be making a play if these premium prices drop. One other thing that I saw when I was looking at this in preparation for the video, you can see that we go from 75 cents a share, 75 cents a share, 40 cents a share, 65. So why is there this confusion associated with these four prices right here? I'm going to go back to looking at the ask and the bids. So you can see that the less volume you see, that the more this is going to be dependent on the average between those two numbers. So you see that it's $1.50 are the bid and the ask price, even though it's more heavily weighted towards the ask. Where if we go directly above that, you can see, hey, we've got 40 and 110, so they're still just taking that simple average, even though it's heavily weighted towards the bid side. So don't always just buy the stock at the price that, or buy the option at the price that you see here, because there is that inconsistency. You can see here as well, there is one person asking for that 50-cent mark, and the other ones are asking for that 30-cent mark, which oddly enough is pretty close to that 50-cent mark here. So do not just blindly buy things. Click on this button right here, and you can see that there is a lot more information here that you need to be looking at. And that's why you're seeing the differences between these two. Again, only two people are bidding 35 cents, a lot more 95 cents. So just be careful when you're making these, otherwise you may be losing a lot of money, and we don't want that to happen. So keep a watch on C's. Again, they are announcing earnings tomorrow. We can see that right here, pre-market at 6:30 in the morning. So this is going to be an interesting play. I think that we're going to see some volatility. I mean, even over the course of yesterday, we saw quite a bit of movement. Over the course of the week, again, you can just see there's a lot of volatility. There's a lot of sells, a lot of buys. I mean, look at some of this movement. So keep a watch on that. Let me know if you're going to be making a play on SeaWorld and if you're going to make some money. So comment below. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks. Talk to you all later. Bye.